What's the deal, gang? What's up, y'all? All right, we got 1 minute. 1 minute for Federal funds rate. Who is excited? 375. Do we see a drop? Do we see a droppity poppity pop? 55 seconds. So here's the deal. We're not trading any news here, but we will trade the after effects of news and the volume that it produces. There are possible ways to trade this news depending on how it comes out, but we'll need to see what the push does, what levels we tap, and if there's an opportunity that we can take advantage of. That's nice rhythm right there. You kind of remind me of Don Vo with that. 15 seconds here, gang. FOMC full port funded accounts. Nah. So the runner yesterday went for like 250 and came back, right? What do we see? We saw like a good 260 pips when I went to bed. I was gonna see if we can wake up and have it be like somewhere down here. I guess oh, FOMC for you. There we go. There we go. The weekly flip. Give us the weekly flip. Oh man, if this fucking flips the weekly to start driving down, fill the wick. I'm kind of upset with the Wednesday candle going up here, right? Instead of down. What did the rates do? Stayed the same. Yeah, this shit was priced in. There's absolute, because okay, so here's the deal. When I say priced in, there was no change, Wix. How are you gonna price in no change? Why did the market move? What's priced in is the sentiment. The market sentiment, right? What you're expecting the market to do if the rates stay the same, right? So you're really trading the feelings of the traders, not the actual numbers. How do these numbers make the average person feel? All right, good night. Got a nice spike down. Now, if we can maintain price below this range, right, below the most recent support, if we can get nice closure, right, 10, 15 minutes from now, maybe we will look for a top wick entry. But for now, I want to make sure that the price isn't just grabbing liquidity to push us up. I'm under the impression we need to head down to 4,300 to start filling the weekly wick. Grizzly in here? I kind of want to know if those orders that were there from before, if they're still there. The knucklehead that's holding like 15,000 orders, 15,000 contracts. Is he still there at 4,300? It'd be interesting to know. Is Drizzly in here? Yeah, Drizzly's in. I mean, it's not going to change how I trade. It's not going to change what we do here on the channel, but I'm kind of curious to see if that's the case. Also, like, I was listening to YouTube the other day. Has my mic now gotten better? Like, can you guys hear me fine if I'm not, like, all the way on this fucking thing? Can you guys hear me if I'm, like, right here, right? You hear me fine, right? How can I help you? You need paper? You know how expensive paper is? It's not that expensive. I got to sit here at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday trading FOMC just so I could afford some paper for you. Yeah. We have paper in that box? Well, then you're rich. Can you please draw a bunch of dollars out of that paper? I need you to learn how to make counterfeit money. There we go. The weekly. The weekly. Give it to me. Give it to me. boy, oh boy, oh boy. Give me that daily resistance. Gang, hey, here's the deal. The daily closes bearish today. We're taking a swing position at 6 p.m. If the daily does this today, this is the level we've been talking about since Sunday, coming up here and holding resistance. If the daily does this today, we're going to have sell limits from up here. This will be stops. You're going to look roughly at like a 500 pip stop, but I'm going to make it a swing, and we're going to look to fill the weekly wick down. So we should look something like this on the daily.
Wait, this is the kind of move we were looking earlier, right?
This is what we've been waiting for the last 2 or 3 days, but this is what I was looking for on our last candle, the one that we took in the signal channel about an hour ago. Yeah, this is the move I was looking for. I was under the impression that we've topped out, and once the news hits, we're just gonna see a straight dump, but we didn't. We pushed up, and just for the news to dump us. So I don't know if this news is going to dump or if it's grabbing liquidity to push up. That's why I said we need some closures. But this is specifically talking about the daily. If this is what we were to see, I mean, we're looking at the top wick there. So you're looking right. Expand it to this. Hold on. Look like this. So your stops. Yeah, it's roughly a 600 pip stop. But you're going to look to the bottom of the range. At least there. So this is what you're looking at. You're looking to risk 600 pips to gain 2,000. But this is off the daily. Off the daily, so I'll take a daily, like an intraday position. I'm going to make it a little less risk. But we'll look for about 2,000 pips here. Okay? This is the resistance we've been looking at. Remember we said Wednesday should be the day to start that drive up. Monday couldn't do it. Monday we needed to get back to resistance. Tuesday we needed to hold resistance. Wednesday we can have the drop from resistance. And if you listen to what we said on Sunday, right now it's working out to the T. I even drew this. I drew all of this. I drew all these 3 candles on Sunday. I just drew this one as bearish right here. This green one. I drew it as bearish. Not driving down, just holding resistance, and then this next one drove down. But you can tell here, right, based on this gap, that this technically should be a bearish candle. This candle should look like this. Well, it shouldn't be a bearish candle, but it should look like this.
Yo, gotta take a few seconds to say what's up. It's been a long time, man. It feels like
brother,
ages since I've
Please tell me the baby's out.
Great. How are you?
Is the baby out?
No, not yet. But she's getting massive Braxton Hicks severe pain, so it's ready. Like we can see the stomach is like down. His body is no longer at the top of the stomach. You can feel it, like he's down. So he's ready to pop out anytime. We're in the middle of the 37th week, so it's soon. I know we have FOMC. I took some cells, so I got some of that. Nice, but just wanted to say what's up.
I don't think you're gonna make it the full term if you're huge right now.
I don't think so either.
Weeks.
Yeah, I think he'll be premature a little bit as well, which is fine, man. We're just
like Daddy. Daddy prematures. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Daddy does things prematurely.
My girl wishes, bro. It takes too long. It hurts her.
You know what, babies? Like they could get to full term. You don't need the full, like, you know, the full 42 or how much? 40 weeks.
40 weeks. Yeah.
40 weeks. You don't need the full 40. Like we were 1 week early on the first one. We were like 1 week later on the second one. But it's so funny. Our friends had our due date and we had theirs, and we ended up switching. Like they gave birth a week early and we gave birth a week later, and we ended up having their due date, like our next door neighbor. So
that's pretty cool,
our
man.
Kids are exactly 1 week apart. Their kid was born on our due date and our kid was born on their due date. It's funny.
That's pretty awesome.
We called them up. We're like, guess what? Your due date's today and we're also giving birth. They're like, we're not ready. I'm like, what do you mean you're not ready? Today's your due date, and we're giving birth. I was like, pack your shit, let's go. Beers in the lobby
Oh
of the
my God.
hospital.
Damn, this just dumped again. Sorry. What the hell?
You're in a massive position, aren't you?
I was. I closed at futures 43.23.
Yeah.
And on spot 43.04.
Gang, as I said, we're not gonna trade the news, but we will
Let's
trade
talk
the
after.
after
Let's talk
effects.
after. Yeah.
So
Let's talk after.
here's the deal. You might have the way this is coming down here. Yeah, I'd love a weekly flip, but based on the weekly and based on the daily and seeing that we would prefer to get a top wick on tomorrow's daily candle, aka tonight in about 5 hours, 4 hours. There's quite a few supports in the way here. I don't think we'll drive straight through. If we do, I just won't be a part of it. But if we hold, we might see a whipsaw here on the smaller time frame just to set us up for that daily bearish candle. So what I would look for, honestly, is the market to pump back up in range here. This is what I'd want to see. I want to see the market pump back up in range. I want to see if I can get some buy limits off that area. Bottom wick, roughly to here. And I want to see if the market can then chop it up within here. Maybe we'll get an onion in there. Come down and have the daily actually close, something like this. Okay, but we're not trading any push down here unless it comes back up, creates a resistance, or we close back in range. I'd rather fake out and chop it up in the middle here. I'd rather see a whipsaw. Because if we see a whipsaw, then this confirms, that would confirm that it was priced in, that FOMC was priced in here for that push up. And we're going to stick around here. Gold sell 300 pips? Yeah, amazing. Bro, this shit moved like 1,000 just now, right? We just moved 1,000 pips. 965 pips. Yeah, we like moved 1,000 pips. You only got 300. Rookie. Fucking only 3. This guy, you believe this, chat? He only caught 300 pips out of 1,000 pip range. What a loser. What a loser. Good shit, Joseph. Good fucking shit. I'm surprised you never like hop on and talk shit. Because people that do their thing, they usually like to talk their shit. And I like it when people talk their shit because I can tell if they're lying or not. You ever talk to a trader and like I talked to Don about this. How we like, you know, if you're actually trading, if you've made money trading, and God knows he knows I've made money, I know he's made money, or we've seen each other's, you know, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. But like we were talking, it's like, yo, it gets hard when you talk to people who are traders or other traders and they're not really doing it, but they talk like they're doing it, or they're like, you can tell who's profitable, who's not, just who really trades, or by their mindset, how they talk, not even profitable or not, but like who really does this, who's really in, like who's really about it, and who's really just talks. Right? You can tell immediately. And Don's like, yeah, I'll call him out. I'm like, me, I'll never call him out. I'll know a person is lying and I'll fucking let them continue with their bullshit. It's so weird. Like, my girl, she likes to see people uncomfortable. She'll call you out on every little thing. You fucking misspeak, she'll call you out. She's like Jay. It's like your, not your. She'll call you out on everything. Me, I'm like, all right, sounds reasonable. Ah, you're lying. And that'll happen in my head. And I'll never call you out. And I'll be like, all right, yeah, that's cool. I'll let you go on with it. I'll see how deep of a hole you can dig yourself. I'm like that. My girl's like, nah, you should tell people right away. You should put them in their place. I'm like, it does me no good to start that conversation or start that argument. Like, I don't really care. If they want to lie, they want to lie. I'll go along with it. We'll have a fun conversation. And like my friends know that, so they're like, damn, did he catch me? Did he not catch me? Yeah, you don't even know if I know you're lying. Gap fill. If there was a time to do it, Drizza, this would be a good time. Also, that gap fill takes you right to a level. You see that it's a previous resistance. You see how you fill that gap? Wait, there's too many things on here. Clear my drawings. Let's get rid of everything on screen here. Remove 6. So that gap fill takes you to a level. So I think you fill the gap and bounce heavy if you fill the gap. It's not that I think, it's what I prefer this, right? I have a daily bias that I'd like to play out, and I'm not marrying it, but I'm also very, very into it. Like when it plays out, I'm gonna go heavy, right? But I also realize like me thinking about it, and that's all I'm looking at right now, I can marry that bias or marry this breakdown and miss everything that's happening here right now. So as we start heading down there, yeah, I'll keep in mind that this gap fill takes you right into a previous resistance that can be established as a support. And if you are going to fill this range down, you're probably going to need to see some kind of bounce here and a top wick. Good area for a top wick right there. If you're able to fill the gap, come up over here for a top wick, right? So this drive might actually look something like this. Once everything is said and done, you might end up looking like this. Gap fill will be the range, right? You're gonna end up holding this. You'll fill the gap, and you start your merry little drive. Probably looks something like this. Yeah, this candle didn't eat much today, so it needs to work out, bro. Gotta work out, bro. This candle's like a kid, just all up in your space. Disgusting moves going on. I mean, no, it's pretty standard for gold. What's disgusting is it's the higher time frame range has sucked here pre-FOMC. Like this is a 4-hour range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4-hour candles next to each other, right? Body of 8 straight 4-hour candles right next to each other. And if you think about it, boom, the body of this one right back into this range, right? So this is a tough 4-hour range. And if it's a 4-hour range with like 10 candles, that's 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? That's 2 or 3 days worth of higher time frame range. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen something like, I mean, look at this nonsense. So that makes it a little bit more difficult, and you need a little more experience in terms of not, because if you're wrong here, right, a breakout out of a heavy range, especially a higher time frame range, is usually a heavy breakout. So you must understand where to manage risk, where to cut your losses. That's why I say it's more of an experienced position if you're trading a higher time frame range without a breakout, because it's not like trading structure. The nuances are completely different. The candles are candles. Price action is price action. Range is range. The nuances of trading a higher time frame range and the things you would look for on a smaller time frame are different from when you're trading a smaller time frame range and the things you would look for on a higher time frame. Yeah, if you guys caught those, so I've been talking about these sells, the weekly, since Sunday, since we opened up with the top wick here. What a break there. And remember, look where we've tapped into. See this to the left? Structure breaks below it. Structure breaks below the open here, below the gap open. Until then, up and away, buddy. First 15 closed. We're getting that top wick. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But remember what I said. First of all, we tapped that level. Remember what I said about a whipsaw. So you might see the higher time frame hold support, the smaller time frame give you the fake out. I will not take this 15 top wick unless we get up somewhere up into the range here, right? Because this isn't the breakout from the range. This was a fake out and a drive straight through the range. If we come back up for a top wick, it should not be off a support of the previous range. It should be off the resistance off the previous range. Because support here, well, there is historical precedent right there, right? But not in news times, not like this. You see enough news, you'll recognize how whipsaws form. And right now, it's forming exactly like a whipsaw forms. When you drive up out of the range, right? Heavy push, not just to the next resistance. You drove through few and then drive through the entire range back the other way, you're likely to whipsaw. It's not a guaranteed, but you see this often enough. That's why I say knowledge that's guided by experience is invaluable. It's way more valuable than anything you can ever read, anything you can ever discuss or hear or talk about or go to a one-on-one, go to a boot camp for. Like, none of that is more valuable than the knowledge you get from experience. Meanwhile, you guys will pay 10 times more to go to a boot camp than you will to sit on the charts. You need to see concepts in play in real time. Right, so we can have buys here, we can have sells here. A lot will depend on how these candles print and what the relationship of the candles is. How do we open on the next one? How do we close on this one? Where? Let's look at the levels. Over here, clearly have there. Most recent, right? Let's go on the most recent here. Get the ball in line. Okay, see the area to the left here? This is what brought you down heavy. And it can still bring you down heavy. The issue here is any kind of sell comes with an 800 pip stop. Because this can, like I said, we can whipsaw all the way up to here, not to this area. If we had structure in here and then broke down, I would look for sells off this area. We don't have structure. We just have this massively overextended candle, no top wick there. Yeah, I'd expect this to ride out back to 43.70, 43.80 here. Maybe we can be a part of that ride up. Maybe we can look for sells there. But right now, let's not be idiots. It's a M structure. Got it zoomed out. Lovely. M structure. Nice. Is it an M3 or an M4 structure? Could be an M8. Oh no! Big slim dog. 80-pound balls, dick. 12 inch long. Back up in the easy, baby. Hey, Santos here? Santos, you here? Nisha? What about Nisha? Nisha here? Hey, bro, what you say we came back at 6-4, that A+ setup on the daily? Bro, what you say we come back at 6-4? Oh, yeah, the daily, I'm looking for the daily to close bearish like it is right now. If we're able to get this closure, I will be looking at 6 p.m. at a swing sell here at 43.50 flat. 43.50, what a level, right? That's the daily resistance, the weekly resistance. The weekly's bearish. This is the first day that would close bearish if we get that closure at resistance, maybe to start the weekly drive down halfway through the week, right? It would make a lot of sense. It would be a smaller lot size, but it would be a 2,000 pip TP, 2,100 pip TP for a 600 pip stop for a daily swing. We need to close on a daily first. Will I be here at 6 p.m.? No, we will be trading that in the Signal channel with the bundle members, with the private community. So if you want to be a part of that, hop in, tap in, get the bundle. Get the bundle. Okay. Press conference is about to start. Welcome. But I never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Damn, I can't do this. I can't do this, gang. This is doing this right now. Hold on. WTF. Oh, the 15 bringing it back down, huh? 15 bringing it back down. Yeah. I'll also tell you this. Oh, that would have stops would have been good there. That's 200 pips. We would have had to take that with a 90 pip stop. It'd be around 140 pips. Me no likey. You also got to realize if you tap target, and you did tap target there on that drive down with that wick, you look across, right? That drive down, that wick came all the way back up to these areas. This is the areas right here I'd want to get back up to, right there. That's where I want to look for a sell. So top wick into there, sell. Slow drive up here into this area and a pullback, we'll buy at support down here at around 43.40, 43.42 areas. I got bit up by mosquitoes. I went to walk Benny and I saw a mango. I didn't see a mango. My neighbor's got this big ass mango tree and there's a bunch of mango, like fresh mangoes right on the floor. I walked up, I grabbed a bunch of mangoes and I got bit up by all the fucking mosquitoes there. The thing is, I used to have a nice dope mango tree, but this guy's got a pruned prime mango tree with just looking peachy. Got this fucker off a tree. Was it worth it, Benny? Was the mango worth the 15 million mosquito bites? Gang, I think the next position will be called mangoes. You guys want to see Benny's snack? This is just snack. He needs like 5 of these for lunch or dinner. This is raw meat. That's street meat. This is cow, chicken, beef, liver, feet, everything, gizzards, hearts, everything just chopped up. This guy gets a Ziploc. Yeah, he gets a fucking, so look at him. He's over here. He knows what the fuck it is. It's frozen, so. But it's, I get it, like his food, this comes, what happens is, this comes in a massive tub. This comes in like a 10-gallon tub, and then I split it into Ziplocs for portions for him. I spend like a couple hours. I do, you guys do, what do you call it? What you call it? For the gym, what do you call it? The meals, when you're doing the meals. Meal prep. You guys do the meal prep? I do it for the dog. I don't even waste time on myself. I do it for the dog. He gets meal prep like this. I spend like 2 hours every Sunday Ziplocking his food from a big-ass tub. Yeah, half my fridge is his food, literally. But he's got his own fridge. Wild. Literally wild, Benny. So this Ziploc right here, this alone, this little zip is like 50 bucks. Eats like 3 a day. Like this guy fucking eats way more on a monthly basis than my entire family combined. You're expensive, bro. You know that? You're expensive. Come here. Come on, give me a hug. One hug. Good boy, one hug. Look at him. You gotta look at your paw. His paw is the size of my hand. Look at that fucking, it's bigger than my hand. Look at my hand, look at his paw. Stop licking me. I know you're doing it for the salt, bro. I know you don't even like me. Just lick me for the salt. I know it. I know it. All right, get up. Get off me. He's 141 pounds. Some of y'all are like $130. Benny, 140 pounds over here. Hey. No Lewinsky's. No Lewinsky's on stream, bro. We're not giving out any Lewinsky's. Come on. Get off me. Get off me.
Hey, it wasn't good afternoon, huh? It was good day. He just spoke. He's on right now live. And it shot up. I think it's one of those days where
I'm telling you, we're gonna see a whipsaw. You guys don't fucking believe me.
you were
I
talking
don't care.
about it, yeah.
I'm telling you, we're gonna see a whipsaw here. We're gonna come back up in range here, and we're gonna find middle ground, and we will open somewhere middle ground here for Asian.
Makes sense. Asian's gonna be wild. Oh my god, look at that dump right after. Ooh, wow.
Asian, bro.
Peace out to the buyers and the sellers.
Dump whatever you want. It's not gonna. Okay. I'm not saying it's not gonna drive down. I'm just telling you, for it to make sense on the weekly and the daily, this can't be the drive down. It would have to be tomorrow's candle. If it's today's candle, tomorrow gets chopped or gets choppy in terms of the opening. Right? We're gonna have to wait to see some structure created on tomorrow's at 6 p.m. for Asian session. If it just continues dumping here. If we go back into the chop, we're gonna have some fairly soon positions. Or positions fairly soon. You haven't had the re-break of the news push. The re-break of the news push here actually could take you down. After that top wick, what is that? It's 400 pips. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk 400 pips. But that re-break should fill. Because the news gives you the push. The pullback gives you the attempt to come back in range. The break at a low should fill the gap. Yeah, it might be the gap fill here. 2052. So if you're in sells here, you at least 300 pips. You got to hold at least 300 pips. It just makes no sense. Yeah, I'm talking about securing profits wise, right? You have your stop up here, and you got to, otherwise it just doesn't make sense for that position. You're holding for 20 pips, 30 pips right there. 30 pips on a fucking 1,000 pip range doesn't make sense. There we go. There we go. You'll probably see about a 300 pip move right now. 59. This little shit should get filled with a quickness. If that is what the market's planning to do. If it's planning to fill the range, fill the gap, it'll be instant. It'll be quick with a quickie. Oof, no bottom wick closure there on 5. First 5 of this 15. Does it mean anything? Nope, not much. But you did tap into here. $5-minute looking good if it closes below? Yeah, that's why I would avoid the 5-minute. A lot of fool's gold on the 5-minute. But that's just me. Like, it don't gotta be you, right? You're making a top wick here on the 5, right? This flip can flippity pippity drive you down. Yeah, that's a 150 pip top wick here on the 5-minute candle. Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay, so here, I'll tell you this. Here's what happens. You guys would be in a great, you guys are in like, everything's flowing smoothly. You've been winning for weeks, maybe month, a whole month, right? You're winning, you're building your account. You're not expecting to over risk. You're expecting to keep things smooth. And then days like today come up. Days like today come up and it's different volume. The ranges are bigger. You're like, all right, this is a good sell. You don't calculate your risk. All of a sudden you have 300 pips of risk. And the market's spiking up and down because of the news. And all of a sudden, you're in a position you never intended to have over the last month while building your position, talking to yourself, telling yourself, yeah, if something like that shows up, I'll stay out just to keep my account building and, avoid the nasty trades and look for a good one. And then all of a sudden, you're in here over risking and over leveraging because the stops are massive and you're in a position during a high volatility time that you're not used to trading. And you know what happens? All of a sudden, you take a loss that wipes away half your month. And you're discouraged because like, fuck, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything that I was. No, you're not. You're trading in a different time, very rare time of volume, right? FOMC, once a month, like rare. Take risk off the table. If the stops at 300-400 pips, you can avoid that trade. Let all of this play out. It doesn't mean just because you're here, it doesn't mean you need to place a trade. Oh, you want to get paid for your time? Well, then go work a 9 to 5. You want to get paid for your time, for your minutes and seconds. If you want to get paid for your knowledge and for your execution, those paychecks are way bigger, but they're not guaranteed. They're not guaranteed. You want a guaranteed paycheck and you want a miserable life, go work a 9 to 5. That's why I was holding so long for news. Makes sense. Yeah, we weren't wrong about what we wanted to see, right? Wix 9 is never wrong. Right? Timing could be off, but I'm never wrong. And if I'm wrong, look at rule number 1, which says Wix 9 is never wrong. I missed those. It's been a while. We haven't seen those. Gigantic ranges are good when they set up for you because you don't have to. You don't have to take gigantic. You don't have to take on gigantic risk in order to take advantage of a gigantic range. You just need to figure out timing, and that's where multiple time frames and multiple levels and multiple instances in the market come into effect, right? This is where historical price data matters, and it's where smaller time frames and the higher time frames need to be on the same page. This way you have little risk in a higher time frame range for massive potential. But right now, it's whipsaw time, okay? Don't say I didn't tell you. First thing I told you, you're gonna whipsaw. Now, where's my Weedicus? Anyone wants the smoke? We are the champions, my friend. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Sells at the zone. What you think, Wix?
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna need to be back up in range. I ain't got shit here. The only thing I can have here is now that we found a support, now that we've got a little range, if the market wants to play retest the lows, if it wants to play the game of technicals versus the game of fundamentals, right now it's the fundamentals. The technicals would be a retest of the low here. A retest of the low means you formed a support. Now you need to find a resistance, right? Once you find a resistance, what happens? What does the retest of the lows do? Well, what are we forming right now? We're forming a wick. A retest of the lows fills the wick. AKA, what are wicks on a smaller time frame? Ranges. So what are we going to do once we find a resistance? We're going to fill the range. That's what gold does. It creates a range and it fills it. Higher time frame wicks, smaller time frame ranges. You ever heard the expression fill the wick? You know what that means? That means you're filling the smaller time frame range. You formed a resistance and you're going to fill the smaller time frame range. If we're going to do that, we're going to have to see a resistance formed. Until there's a bearish candle formed here at resistance, ain't nothing going on here. The only things going on are rent payments and fees. Go ass off my chart. Now, if we can just whippity pippity saw. Man, get him, Wix. Who are you getting on? It sounds like you're setting someone straight. No, I'm just talking. When you got the 101 sells, Wix, that was last night. Very late into the stream. This trade, this sells plus 101, it ran for 260 pips. We left a runner overnight. I went to bed. It hit about 270, I think, 260, 270. I wasn't awake. And I woke up, it hit B. But it was only a 5% runner. We secured 95% of our position by the 101. I just left it because this is what I was looking for. I was looking to see if we can get the weekly lip and drive. We were somewhere, we took that sell somewhere up there. So yeah, that's from last night. We took it on stream. A lot of people left by the time we took it. It came really late. It came at around 11 p.m., right? 10:45. I said I was going to stay till 10:30, and then it started closing decently at around 10:15, 10:30. We were a few candles away, and 10:45, we got that sell. Yeah, more than half the stream dipped by the time we took took positions. And then once we got the position, once we got the W, another half the stream dipped. Like, first of all, there was the non-believers that dipped. And then you had the pip and dippers. And then you had the real ones, right? The day ones, the loyal ones, the ones that show up and won't leave no matter what. Got the W. Sometimes the early bird gets the worm. Sometimes it's the loyal bird that gets the worm. Hey, Daniel, Holder, it's DH. Besides yesterday's trade, can you clip yesterday's outro? And can we hop on a call today, bro? If you're here, you're here? Yeah, let's do a call at like at around 5:30. Maybe, hey, maybe there's a position setting up at that time, and we'll take a position while we're on a call. Let's hop on a call at like. Hey, I need hey, mods. I mean, Discord mods or devs. Can you guys create a voice channel just for? Can you guys create a voice channel just for the devs or the mods or like or the everyone who's putting in like corporate? Let's do like a corp call. We should have a corp voice channel. Just select just the mods and devs and people that are working on stuff, so we can do voice calls in there. Like, I'll tell you guys who to add. Nate, can you do that? Do you have access to do that? I don't know if Nate does, but I know Spectral does. All right, beautiful hold of support. Remember we said we break up in here. We're going to look for that bottom wick entry. Let's look for this. That's only a 15 candle. Yeah, let's see if the hourly can close back up in range here. If the hourly holds support and opens up with a bottom wick, you better believe it. We're going to look for buys here off the hourly. If we open up with a top wick here on the hourly, be very careful. Probably right there. Or right there, actually. I'll look 62. Stops about 90 pips. And if we break those, I'll probably look for these. Stops 80 pip, 180. What I really want is closures above here. We get this closure above here. Maybe even above here. We close above 43.50. And we open up with a bottom wick. I'm taking buys off 43.40 here. Many different ways to play this. But lock in here. I think we're about 15 minutes away from possible positions. I don't pip and dip. I dip in here and pip. You know what I mean? Yes, I do. Exactly what you mean. Reckless Garage. He said, I'm at work. Patrick said, quit. said, I'm on a stream right now. He said, I'm at work. Patrick said, just quit. Do not quit your job, bro. Don't quit it on a whim and on a feeling and on a hunch. No. No. That's stupid. You always need to have a backup plan, a plan B, not to do instead of this, right? If this doesn't work, you don't need a plan B in order to replace what you're doing here. No, if this doesn't work, it's like a navigation. I told you guys this before. You tell the navigation where to take you. If you miss the turn or if something's closed, it'll take you to a detour, right? It has a plan B. The destination doesn't change. You just take a different road there. So whatever you had planned out, if it's not working here, this is what you want to do, but if shit ain't working out, plan B is not to go to another destination. Plan B is still the same destination. you're gonna have to take a different route there. So plan B, shit. Oh damn, it's not working. I need another job to live while I make this work. Have another job. That's plan B. That's just a detour. You're still trying to make this work. You're still gonna get better. You're still gonna optimize and improve and grow and go through the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the friends, the foes. Yeah, you need it's not just the foundation outside of trading. It's like minimum wage, bro. Like people lose their jobs, they go find a minimum wage job, not to replace the job that they had. It's a safety net. It's something that's supposed to bounce. You fall on the safety net, and then you bounce back up, spring back up. The same thing here. Your plan B is not to now go work a 9 to 5 in a corporate world. No, it's to survive long enough that you can still get to your destination. So you could still plan. Your plan B should always lead you back to plan A. Your plan C should always lead you back to plan A. The destination of plan A, B, and C should be the same. Plan B should just be the detour. Oh, if plan A doesn't work, how am I going to get to destination A the other way? So people that say they don't have a plan, like, you guys are fucking stupid. You're setting yourself up. Why? Oh, this guy did it. It was all, I always knew it had to work. It was only this or nothing. Yeah, 1 for every 99 of you. 1 out of every 100 of you. What about the other 100? They're all sitting there with a fucking on unemployment with no job and pissed off that this shit didn't work and one person made it and they're all using that one person. Meanwhile, they're all looking at each other like, man, what the fuck? You should not use one person as an example. There's a reason, right? You build data here for a reason. You build, right? You sample size and back test and forward test and do all these things for a reason, to collect some data, because data is your best friend. You're gonna base your actions on data that supports it. So if data supports that 99 of you are gonna fail, how the fuck are you basing what you're doing on data? No, you're doing it on a fucking feeling. It's like voting for Obama. You did it because you felt good, not because it was the right or the smart thing to do. Or for Mr. Vegetable, right? Buying it, like, no, do the shit that logically makes sense. Data's not there to support your success in this industry. You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. Once, twice, 100 times. But you keep at it, it's inevitable. Success is inevitable if you don't stop. Eventually you get there. Just don't stop. You don't quit. What does that mean? That means when shit gets hard, you fail, you got to have a plan B as a safety net to bounce you back up towards your goal of plan A. Plan B is just a detour. It's not a different direction. So yeah, I always knew whatever. 91 person makes it, the other 99 are fucking broke, jobless, miserable, and no motivation to go on because they're fucking put themselves in the position of broke, jobless, and miserable. You'd rather be, not broke, have some money in your pocket, with a job and miserable, than broke, jobless, and miserable. You need that self-respect. You need integrity. You need to have some self-abiding principles that keep you accountable. Right? Otherwise, you end up like Jimmy from the block you grew up on. What happened to Jimmy? He's still on the fucking block. He's still on his fucking porch. You guys don't want to be walking around different aisles of Nordstrom Rack with your mother into your 30s, 40s, 50s. But that's what be happening. I hope it doesn't embarrass you. I hope it fucking tells you that it's not embarrassing. People got to survive. They got to live how they got to live. Right? There's nothing embarrassing about being in a situation that you're in. That's just how you feel, right? That's your own conscience eating at you. There's nothing, people don't give a shit. They're so consumed with how they look and what they got going on in their life that they don't give a shit about judging you. Most people, some, you know, usually the ones judging you, or, you know, most people, the ones look, trust me, the ones laughing and the ones making fun of you when you're trading here and you're losing here are the same people that are asking their boss if they can have an extra 15 minutes for lunch. The people laughing at your failures here are the ones asking their boss if they can have an extra day off. They're the ones calling in sick or something to lay down in bed, right? But their existence depends on somebody above them. Those are the people laughing at you. Everyone else, we fucking work. We don't got time for that shit. We gotta work. You have time to fucking focus on how good or how bad somebody else is doing? Man, the Knicks won the chip. I was so happy I've been waiting for this my whole life. Man, I forgot about it 2 days later because I gotta get myself better, right? I gotta improve. I didn't win the championship. I gotta be the best at what I do, no matter how many people, you know, laugh at what I do or downplay what I do. I just realized that the same people talking shit to me about any trade that goes wrong over the last 4 or 5 years, they've always come back and, you know, try to figure out how I do what I do. And I realized, like, these guys they were laughing at me, but they were working their fucking 9 to 5 minimum wage or whatever. They could have been making 6 figures. But they were the ones laughing at me. And meanwhile, they're the ones that have a boss they got to report to and ask them if they can do things. Like, nah. You might think you're ahead of me, but if we look at it objectively, we are not even on the same level. We are not in the same sphere of existence. Wow, look at that top wick. So I was off a bit about the resistance. This is the level, right? I'm not sorry. I'm just saying, like, back in range. Yeah, that was it. Right? That's interesting. I should have recognized it with that overlap. I went on the body here. This is where it gets tough. This is where experience comes into play. And a lot of times these two levels will be the same level. Because this range will fall in line, down or up, down or up. I went on the closures here, and based on that closure. But you see these two wicks overlapping here. That's the resistance. Yeah, it could have came up here. Could have came up here. Doesn't look amazing. Okay, here's the deal. If we can get a bottom wick here, almost to support, almost to fill the wick, maybe even break it by a little bit, and come back up, we'll have a sell stop on the break of that low. Okay? If we get a top wick here on this hourly, the 4 hour doesn't have any top wick, but if we get a top wick on this hourly and come down flip, I won't take it. Once it flips and pushes back up, we'll have a sell stop on a rebreak of the lows. I want the break to happen before we get in it because this is a leg candle. We can break and pump right back up to fill the leg candle. If we get a decent sized leg candle fill back to 43.25s, yeah, I'm going to have a sell stop on a break of the lows because that gap fill is incoming. 57. It's about 300 pips of clean gap. Cleany gap. If it just drops, then it drops, and then if it starts pulling back up, you're probably expecting the like candle fill back up. Hi, pretty lady. Walk normally. You look beautiful. What do you want to eat? Heavy order at 4,300. Just filled? What do you mean filled? Oh, for buys? Yeah. We spoke about this earlier. Hey, baby, give me a minute. I'll get you food, okay? Let me finish. How about, hey, Sam, I got some jerk chicken over there with plantains, fried plantains and cabbage, if you want. Rice and peas. Yeah, I went to a Jamaican spot. I got some jerk chicken, got some oxtail, but these girls don't want none of that. They want lamb chops. They want a filet mignon. My oldest one does not eat anything but steak. Nothing but steak. I be trying to get her some fried chicken and she'd be like, no, that's not healthy. I need a rotisserie. Okay, look at this. You might see a reaction here at the body of the candle and come down. What we need is to come down, break the highs, fill a large portion of this candle up, fail, and then we can look for a rebreak of the lows. I will not look for top wick sells, but I will look for rebreak of the lows, which will take us into the gap fill. Fall into the... Okay, first resistance, possible resistance right here, the body of the candle. Because that's a support of a smaller time frame range. Remember we said wicks are ranges on a smaller time frame. See, this is support of a smaller time frame range. There you go. What are you doing? Stop biting me. GG's, let me sleep. See in Asia. All right, GG's. Santos, you're here. I was asking to see if you're here. Is Nisha here? Hey, your account is on its way. I think you just got it, or sometime in the next few hours you should have it. Congrats to Santos. He won a 50K account in our private session on Sunday, last Sunday. So, Nisha 112. And if you got the bundle, if you're a private community member, I do these all the time. Multiple people all the time, every week. 50K accounts. Straight to funded, no challenge, no activation fees, none of that. Just the funded account, and up to you to make money on it. So if you want to get those, if you want to be eligible for those, get the bundle. The wick fill is still 110 pips. Ranges are massive. Just this wick fill? Yes. But I don't trust the break of the lows here. We can break the low and come right back up. I trust the break of the lows here. But this fucking stop sucks. That's why I said, man, if we can get... You know what? We might attempt the break of the lows and just go break even at this wick right there to the left. That's about 47 pips. I probably won't secure anything. I'll just go break even, but I need this to come up. I need a nice push up. This wick ain't it. That's This type of wick, I expect to break the low and come right back up to break the high. I need to retest the range here. And if it just wants to plummet down, hey, more power to you, baby. This is better though. Like if this can break the high now, we'll have a sell stop. If it breaks the high after doing this, trying to break that low. Even if it breaks it by a little and comes back up, re-breaks highs, I'll have a sell stop on a break of the lows, and it'll be a current candle stop wherever it tops out. If it just continues down to fill the wick. Oh, also 4,300 Drizza. Wix when they are coming, the giveaway account, they're already out. So you're supposed to either have it. I just spoke to them right before I started the stream. They said it's working on it right now. You should get them any moment. So you might get it now. You might get it, you know, during rollover. You might get it during Asian, but sometime today it's coming. He said he's working on it. And it's not 4 o'clock. Yeah, anything that they tell me is before 4 o'clock, because that's when Ninja Trader does their maintenance. And Trade of 8, that's when they do their maintenance. That's why you see trading on Top 1 Futures stop at 4 p.m. instead of 5. I like that we didn't break the low. I just wish we could break the high here so we can have some sell stops. My issue is I need to see an attempt to come back up in range here on this candle after the hourly closed here, and the hourly has not done so. We re-break the current hourly high, we'll have a sell stop on the break of the previous hourly low with the current hourly high as stops. We'll be looking at like a 300 pip stop, like 300 pip TP. I probably won't lower my size on it because I'll expect it. It's a high probability trade. Understanding that, yes, it could push heavy now is with the news, with the volume, with the daily, with the weekly, with that closure. Yeah, it could push heavy right now. But I'm going to look to avoid the possible drawdown of the rebreak of that high. Once it does that, then I'll set the sell stop. If you guys are getting in here, good luck. Stop here right now. There's the wick fill you were talking about. 300 pips for the stop here right now. All right, broke that low. Pump up, and pump back up, and then re-break it. What are you mad about? Fucking dog, man. Every time. He's always pissed about something. He never snaps at people, but the other day he snapped at two of my neighbors. They got out of their red Tesla. But they're so fat. Well, I'm sorry, they're not fat. They're big bone. They're horizontally challenged. You know those trucks? The with the big yellow sign on the back carrying a wide load? Yeah, basically both of my neighbors need 2 airplane tickets whenever they fly. But gonna re-break right there. Didn't really pull back where I wanted it to, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not taking on that. Anyway, he snapped on them because they walked out of their. I was walking down the block and they're pulling into the driveway, and then they get out the Tesla, and the Tesla goes like this. Because one got out one side, one got out the other side. Oh, there's a 90 pip drop. Careful here. Careful here. Right into that. Right into that. Right into that. Give me some structure, man. Nope. No, we're just going to dump. What are we going to do? Oh, man. How I wish this pulls back up, and then we can take the rebreak out of lows. If we get up to here, I'm going to have a sell stop, but we need to come back up, yeah, 4,300 at the very least. Hey, Drizza, those orders at 4,300, were they buys or sells? 1,000 orders that were at 4,300 yesterday filled. Buyers added more at 4,300, try to defend it. Oh, man. They're fucking getting chewed up right now if this gap fills. They're not trying to see this gap. They are trying to see the gap filled, but I'm trying to tell you they're trying to get that sell up here. 300 at 4,200. Yeah, might fill. Those might be exits too, no? Those might be buys to get out of these sells to get out of positions from the top here. You just don't know. I just can't stop the feeling of this point being dangerous. That's true. Yeah, that's why you see I'm fine with letting it rock. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm spending time. I'm investing my time into the charts and the breakdowns here, and you know, and doing the technical analysis. And I know I might walk away with nothing, and I might walk away with it being bittersweet because it's going to give me that move. But if it doesn't do it on my terms, I promise you, I'm going to walk away here feeling good about myself in terms of principles. I remained principles, kept my dignity, right? Didn't walk out of here with, you know, without my shoes and my shirt. I can't go celebrate it. I can't be like, yo, fellas, I didn't lose no money. FOMC party. Champagne. But do you really need to? Or do you need to just live another day to see your position play out? You miss enough positions just to survive the day and watch your position play out the next day. This is going to be no issue for you. You're going to be like, oh, psh, last 3 times this happened, the very next day I smacked it. I smacked it the rest of the week. I'm over here thinking, damn, I can't wait till tomorrow because I'm gonna smack. I can't wait till the next position. I can't wait till this shit sets up again. Because I know what I do outside of just this. You know what I mean? Outside of just this breakdown. There's millions of other things that we read in the charts. So many sellers, so buyers are having a hard time defending their position. Defense! 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 D nice.
If one of y'all says some silly ass name, this whole class is gonna feel my wrath.
Dumpity pumpity. How can I help you, miss? What? Yeah, give me 1 second. Moving on down. Okay. First 15 to close outside the range. The most recent structure here. 155. We're going to close. It's going to be first candle close below the range. We might, if we get a nice top wick here, up to 43.03, I will look for the break of the lows here. We'll have a nice stop there, about 250 pips, and we'll look to get about 360. Okay? Capiche?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
iceberg sell just hit. I don't even know what the fuck that means. With all this action today, tomorrow maybe chop. Aw. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Don't be. There'll be positions. But you sit here throughout the day. There's so many positions that set up. All right, 15 just closed. Give me top wick 15. This is the first candle to close below the range here. Below the structure we've created. We got a bottom wick here. We need to come up for a top wick, at least 42.97 areas. If we can do that, I'll take the rebreak of the lows. If this thing continues down here, I will not participate. We get a top wick here, we'll have a sell stop. Come on! Come up! Aw, you're a bitch. Yeah, that sucks. Iceberg sell, it's an order hedge funds use to hide their size. The order will only show like 10% of the actual size. So if it shows 100 contracts, they might have actually executed. You're talking about... I've never heard that term before, Drizza, and I don't know the mechanism behind that. Honestly, I've never heard of that. Live and learn. I'm doing this for a decade. That's what iceberg means? Yeah, to fucking sink the market no matter what. Like, yeah, you're putting in fucking 10,000 positions. But how do you hide it? They have an algo, right, that executes 10x probably than what's on the books. Like when the price hits, like, it's probably like a proprietary algo that executes that.
Yeah, it could be, but obviously whatever you see as a real iceberg in real life in the ocean, you only see a part of it. Everything is on the bottom, all hidden, and then
Yeah, that's how I get it.
Yeah, so I mean, if this fills the gap, bro, the rest of the week was gonna be chopped for real. But if it doesn't, we should have some action.
I don't think so. I think the gap fill could get really interesting because you're gonna see a bounce off the gap fill.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, we are off on Friday, by the way. It's a bank holiday, so there's only one more day to trade. There's tonight Asian, tomorrow New York, and tomorrow night Asian. That's it.
Hey, power hour tomorrow. We might just fucking do a 24-hour stream. You guys get me to 50,000 subs today. Let's go 50,000 subs. All right, there's the gap fill. Like I said, 300 pips incoming. We're going to be at 42.60 here in a few minutes. Yeah, said there shouldn't be any pullback through this gap. It should be fairly quick, but man, I wanted that top wick. What happens here off this 30 if there's no top wick there, right? I gotta use this top wick, and I'm not using that stop. I would have needed top wick into that area in order to use that top. Watch this bounce off these wicks. 42.55. Will I bet on it? Hell no. Right? And some things we see often enough to recognize them, but I just don't have data or a data set or a sample size on certain things because, yeah, I've seen them often enough, but I've never recorded the outcomes. And I have data on certain things, but like there are things that you know and recognize over thousands of times. You've seen it, but you didn't keep the data on. So I don't take the sells past the gap fill. Because from what I know and recognize, you usually see a heavy bounce off the gap fill back to the gap opening. So I do expect to come back up here to 42.86. But I don't have enough data on this kind of drop here, and the weekly looks like it needs to come down. So that will go against everything that I'm looking for. Look at this daily, though. Want it to pull up. You want it to pull up, leave a nice daily bottom wick and top wick 6 p.m. tonight on the daily. Look at that swing. Yeah, Santos, let me know whenever you get your account. I'll probably get a notification of it too. By the way, there's an indicator using Wix strategy. I don't know. People want it free or willing to pay the bundle. High time frame confluence. Exactly what Wix preach about. Yeah, I doubt. There's no indicator that would have closed at minus 30 pips today or minus 28 pips today versus letting that motherfucker ride against you for 500 pips. Yeah, you would have blown everything you've ever had. There's no indicator that could have understood what's happening in the market. Get the bundle. It might be an indicator to take a position. There's no fucking risk management indicator.
Yeah, and for risk management, this is obviously the best thing to do. You want to protect your capital. So if you guys caught a W today or are still patient and waiting, go ahead and drop a like. We'd appreciate that. Sub to the channel if you haven't done so. We'd appreciate that too. That way you'll know whenever Wix is live, and you can join us for free 99 in the Asian sessions.
Yes.
Where
yes.
lots and lots and lots of pips are getting made. Hey, Bianca. Bianca's talking to me. Sorry. I'll mute myself.
Talking. What was her first
Well,
word?
talk.
Wix?
Whatever it's called. Yes, and a Masri. Yes, I am Egyptian.
We should have took the 1 hour after reject that resistance. The daily setup you was talking about ain't gonna play out. Not top wick will be to the weekly. I don't know what's gonna play out. I'm just telling you that's what I'd prefer to see. Take it on my terms. But if it doesn't play out, that's only one possibility out of the thousands that, or hundreds of thousands of ways that these candles can print. And then we'll adjust. We'll adjust. There's just throwing out possible ideas out there. But taking the 1 hour after it rejects, right, would be taking the sell at the 15 support at an existing support, right? You didn't have this closure. You do have this break of the lows here, which I would be fine taking usually, but like I said, I need a steeper top wick. I didn't want to. You need to, if you don't go into this range, you typically will, right? if you don't go into this range in here and you break that low, you must keep this stop, because a lot of times this candle will re-break the high to go into that small time frame range. Yeah, it won't typically fill the whole thing. It'll probably reject up here at like 41 areas and come back down. But you got to keep that previous candle high if you don't go into this range. If this candle would have entered into this wick range and came down, I could have used the high of this candle, and I wasn't willing to risk 700 pips. I was willing to risk 300 pips, 350 on this type of position, because I understand the probabilities and the possible outcome and the possible gain here. And the probability of the gain being way heavily outweighing the probability of the loss, especially once that top wick is made into there. So I don't mind letting this go. It's okay, right? Guess what? Under these 300 pips, guess what? There's another fucking 300 pips. Below here, bro. I clear this out, and look, we got the whole screen to fill. Uh-oh, more range. Holy shit, like, market never runs out of range. You didn't need to take it at 325. You could take this at 650 and be, 3 hours later for a trade will not delay your trip, your road, your journey to becoming a millionaire. I promise you, if you know you're going to be well off and wealthy and big, and multi-million, or like Roger likes to say, multi-millionaire, or whatever he says. If you know you're headed there and you know you're going to get there, it doesn't matter if you get there in June or July or December. It doesn't matter. You know you're going to get there. 2 or 3 months of delay, a year of delay to just get to your eventual destination, right? Where you're looking to get to. Doesn't matter. And believe me, taking a trade 3 to 4 hours later in a different range will not delay you to becoming wealthy. But jumping ahead of it into a stupid position, taking a big ass loss will. Because it doesn't delay you money-wise. Money-wise, fuck it. You lose what? 200, 300, 5,000, 12,000, whatever. That's not life-changing. You know what's life-changing? Your mindset. Your perspective, your confidence, the way you view things. One trade could set you up or mess you up for the next year. It can either continue with the confident, positive mindset, or it can really fuck you up and really start make you question things. Like I said, it's not gonna make you wealthy, but it can really fuck up your account, delay your journey. You understand? Muted? No, goated.
By the way, Wix, you asked at the beginning of the stream if the sound on YouTube was good or bad. I was at max on my laptop everywhere, and it was still really low unless you got really close to the mic. But on Zoom it sounds really good, so people should definitely get the bundle.
I've been listening on my own YouTube, like a replay later, and it sounded great.
With headphones, yeah, it sounds decent. Without, you can barely hear anything. Not sure why, but people should get the bundle in that case, and they'll be able to hear really, really well.
Word. You want good sound? Get the bundle. We got the sound engineers working on it for the people in the bundle.
Cool. Oh, this is re-breaking the lows. Fake out? Let's see, the 30's closing.
I want this shit to pull back up. Oh, man, I need another mango. I got so many water bottles here. I'm about to drink like 6 water bottles. bottles down, man. One good sound, get the bundle. Can from here. May to there. How did drive? What the fuck are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Dang, what a runner? Yeah, fucking gap fill. Yeah, but it's just something minor here, just like a small 2,000 pip drop here, just like really minor. There's the gap filled right there. Bounce up from here. Right here, up 1,000 pips. Come on. This is the gap fill. How far do we fill? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Get me up there. Get me up there. How far are we gonna fill? How far are we gonna fill? How far are we gonna fill? Gang, you know what? I'm gonna take a small buy here, and I'm gonna keep the stop a little bit below the lows. Small buy here. All right, stops to break even here, gang. Stops to break even. We're up 50 pips. Sell up 60 pips. My close partials right there. I left 2/3 of my position. We're up almost 80 pips. Push up, push up. Get us 100. Get us 100. Get us 100. Get us 100. Oh, wait. Stops to break even. I didn't move my stops. I forgot. Stops to break even. Stops to break even. There we go. I moved the stops right there. If it re-breaks, so there we go. It re-broke. W. We got the perfect tap there, and I was gonna keep my stops probably right there. 66 pips, but we secured how much in the signal channel? I'll tell you right now. We secured 57, 58, 58 pips. Yep. No, I'm sorry, we secured 59 pips. 59 pips. W. Brave? No, I just know what the fuck I'm doing. Confident. All right. W. 59 pips. It's not bravery. It's knowledge guided by experience, brother. You closed with no bottom wick. You closed at the gap fill. You bottom wicked right into the fill. Right into that fill, into that closure without a top wick. Yeah, you were going to make this top wick and you were going to make it heavy. But unfortunately, it rebroke the lows and now it's making that top wick. I'm not telling you it's going to do it. I'm 100% sure and I know it. I'm telling you because I've seen this happen hundreds of times. Thousands of times. You're not paying, in the bundle for me to trade for. You're paying just for my knowledge, my experience, what I've seen for a decade. I honestly thought it was going to push up immediately from there. I thought once we came up here, we'd see this price already. Because we can't come down here without getting these orders. See these wicks to the left, this area to the left. We can't come down here without tapping that. We might not come down here right now at all. Might make a heavy pullback up to here, 42.83. But without tapping, see that top wick where it just came up to into these wicks? Let's look at it. Let's run it across. Right there, that's where the top wick came up to. You see these wicks? Right into these areas. Right into that wick. It needs that. It needs that to push down. You re-entered, closing 100. Good job, Joseph. Yeah, I mean, it was gonna do this. It was a low chance of it just continuing down, and I was willing to take that 1% chance of it going against me, versus 99% chance that we're gonna get a little pump back up to these wicks. Yeah, so like I said, I mean, positions can set up at any moment. It's just you got to be able to read the chart, and you got to be able to narrate it, not just like, oh, I'm looking for this and it's gonna set up there, but what happens the rest of the way, all over the chart here. You got to be able to narrate all of this. Narrate, I mean read it. All right, we're doing this, that. Like, but what's it mean? What's behind it? What's the edge behind it? What's the opportunity? How confident are you in it? What's the probabilities? All right, hold on. Let's add a W to our record. Another successful FOMC stream, power hour stream. These power hour streams have been killing. 59. Your edge is gone, though. Your edge, which is these wicks, is gone. By this time, you had to be in on the bottom wick here. Ideally, we should have been right there. I got in late. I got in like up here, but we could have gotten in right there at that price point. And your break even right here at 42.50, you gotta be break even at that closure. And if it comes up further, whatever it is, you know, that's all house money. You gotta secure some right there. Your entry should have been 42.40, 42.50 should have been partials and a break even. And then the rest is just bonus. I was in at 42 long right before you. Yeah, great job. Good read. Good read. 42 is perfect. I would have been at 40. I think 40 was ideal, but 42 is great. Yeah, there'll be times where we get our 100, 200 pip run. Like you saw yesterday's trade ran for 250. But you take what you can, and because of these big ranges, a lot of times, like lately, the market, because first of all, we get in way ahead of the position, so when the market pulls back, it doesn't take our runners out because we were way ahead. Right? Like, I'll give you an example. Right? Right. You have support, right? You have resistance here, right? Here's the deal. You get a resistance formed. You get this. We usually get in right here. A lot of people get in on the flip, and a lot of people get in on the break of the lows. This is a no man's land position. You never get the flip. You haven't rebroken that low. Highly likely you can still come back up and make a steeper flip. Get this fucking position out of your system completely. You never get in on the flip ever. It's gonna have to be the break because the flip doesn't break that low. It's a support. And it leaves you in no man's land because you can make a steeper top wick. And if you don't have a wick to fill here, right? If you don't have a steep wick to fill, you probably don't even have enough range for it to make sense. So get this fucking thing out of your system. Now, the reason we get a lot of runners, first of all, right now, big ranges, market likes to just fucking push, right? It likes to do this. Likes to push. But when it doesn't push, where does the next candle wick come back to? Remember, I said this is a support. That wick, you need to break it. You need to break this wick here because that's a support. What happens when the market, on a smaller time frame, when the market breaks out of a range, what does it do? It retests. So that support can become a resistance. So where does the next candle wick come up to? To your fucking entry to take you out and then continue moving. This is the reason a lot of our runners survive that entry, because this has to come back here. Yeah, sometimes you'll see this, very rarely. But when the move's beginning, you come back to that previous support to form a resistance. You don't break back into the range because then you're in the wrong direction. This is the reason a lot of our runners survive. So we get a large number of 100, 150, 200 pip runners. So, we get our 50, 60 here. That's fine. A large number of times we will get our runners and they survive because, first of all, the ranges are massive. So even if it's not a runner in a traditional sense where the candle does this, but even if it does this, it's fucking 200 pips. That bottom wiggle, like just this candle, if we're looking at it the way it looks like right now, that's 200 pips, literally 185. You're like, I got a 185 pip runner. Not really a runner. It's just you filled the range. Your runner should be like running. But, in our case, 50, 60 pips, everything else. Runner. In this case, so you take it to support, everything else is a runner. But in grand scheme of things, majority of the time when you get structure, this is how you'll retest. So your entry on the break of the lows a lot of times will get the BE, or you'll get the runners hit BE and you just get your partials. Not for us. And this is a wick entry. Just in this case, this is a pancake 2.0, right? But there's 6 versions of the pancakes. This is just the easiest example to make you realize why we get the runners. But there's plenty of different pancakes. Like this is a pancake here. And if you're right about this one, right? First of all, majority of the time you'll get this. So you're only playing from bottom of this wick to the top of this wick on this pancake to take a buy here. Right? You'll take a buy right there, actually. And play the difference here, which in this case is about 85 pips. And you'll get your 85 and then that's it. It'll come back down. But if this bottoms out and that's the beginning of the drive, you do not come back to your wick. You might use, sometimes you do, sometimes it'll take me out and then head the other way, right? Very rarely. But most of the time, if you're going to head back the other way, you should not break that wick. So if you snipe this wick, the next candle, sometimes it'll take you out. Majority of the time, if you got the wick entry and you sniped it, it shouldn't get there. And you'll get this, and that's it. You're on your merry way up now. That's your runner. And you have an entry here. How fucking wild is that on this position? Yeah, you could be wrong. Then you have a small stop. And you only enter that position when there's a solid small stop. If there is no stop there, and your risk is 200 pips, and your potential is 150, it's not even what your potential is. Like, I'm not willing to put 200 pips up on, even if I'm getting 20 or 50 or 80, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what I'm gaining. I'm just not willing to put that up Not based on, it's not based on my reward. I'm not deciding risk on based on my reward. I'm deciding my risk based on the probability of the trade working out. So it's not a risk to reward ratio that's being used when I enter my position. That's not the calculation I'm doing. It's risk to probability of trade working out. That's the lens that trades should be viewed through, not risk to reward. You do risk to reward when you have your when you're a negative probability trader. When you win like 20-30% of your trades, you must follow your risk to reward. We win 90% of our trades. We follow risk to probability of trade working out, if there's an actual number for that. Behind it all is a coin toss.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
I asked you, when the fuck did I ever ask you?
But most of your trades are negative RR with very high win rate. That's incorrect. No, they used to be. Over the years, it's been a natural progression to a positive RR just because of how our entries are placed, and just it's been a natural progression. Here's the difference. Here's the difference between me trading a positive RR and a difference between another trader who starts out. I let my trading get me to this point. I've grown into the positive RR, understanding why and how I got to positive RR. Traders that start off with like, oh, I need my RR to be right. They're starting off with that because they see other people doing. That's how they've learned. They're not understanding why they need that positive RR. They're not understanding how they got to it. So they're just thinking, oh, I just need to have a positive RR. It doesn't matter what my... No. Profitable traders got to positive RR through what? Through progression, through growth. They started with negative RR. They were losing trades. They're winning trades. They over time optimizing. Your risk becomes less. Your targets become bigger. Over time, your risk gets even smaller and smaller and smaller. You get picky and choosy with your trades. You make sure you don't get in early because you understand where the trade's going to go. You know it. You've seen this with experience. You're going to get in early. It'll give you 5 pips and come back against you. And you're like, fuck, I know this. And eventually, over time, you're like, damn, I got a better entry, an even better entry. Now I got bigger target. Now I have less risk. And over time, it grows into it. So I'm like, damn, maybe there is something to the RR, but it's not the focus. The focus is winning your trades, and eventually, as you get better, the trades get better, and the RR improves, and you get there. You get there. But those that start off positive, they're not understanding why they got there. They got there in order for the probability of their trades to work out increase. See me, we have a 90% win rate with a bad RR. We maintain the 90% win rate, but eventually, over time, improve RR. People that start with just RR as their strategy, right? Oh, I need a 1 to 4, 1 to 5. They don't know why they're there, so they never improve the 30% win rate. They never improve the 40% win rate, the 50 to 60 to 70. No, but when we start with a win rate, we improve the RR over time. The RR traders never improve the win rate. The win rate traders always improve the RR. I know why I got there and how I got there. By optimizing, my entry, my positions are the same. I'm just picky and choosy. I understand I get in at better places. I avoid the bad positions. I still have my 90% win rate, but now my RR is fucking like 1 to 3, 1 to 4 instead of negative. Not because that's what I aimed for, because it was a natural progression to get there. It was an improvement, an optimization, constant growth. It doesn't happen when you start off with I'm an RR trader. No, you got to win your fucking trades. You can't lose 7 out of every 10 trades. You suck. How can your confidence grow when you lose 7 out of 10 trades? 8 out of 10 trades. You open your terminal, you see nothing but reds. You see 3 big blues, but nothing but reds. This is your best year trading? Yes. This was my worst January trading in the last 4 years. Last 3 years, my worst January trading. And my best quarter 2. But like, I come to these realizations just as I see them happen. I'm like, all right, there's something to the RR thing, because all of a sudden the RR is positive. But that's not the focus. The focus is on winning the trades. And just over time, as you get better, you'll get.
Also, people need to remember that the market has shifted since Trump came into power again. That's number one. Number two, the positions that we take, we no longer try to get 10 pips or 20 pips. We actually hold till resistances or where levels where we think they might bounce off. And that's why we take partials. And then we have a runner that keeps going. So that helps us out as well. The position that we take.
The fact that the entries are so much better, like,
yeah,
you're just
no doubt, 100%.
You're getting that, and it's not the break of the candle, it's the wick. You're getting a lot more than 10 pips because you're looking for 10 pips past the break, past the flip. We're getting like 50 to the flip and then 10 more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 20 more. The ranges are bigger, the moves are faster, and we got better.
100%. And we used to panic when it was 80, 90 pips of drawdown or of possible stop loss. Now we're looking at 250 possible, but the position would make sense. We're not going to go try to catch 40, 50 pips if we know that the drawdown is 200 or 250. That wouldn't make sense because then we're not getting the advantage of the position. So we wait for the next closure.
But I honestly, if there's a 90% chance, I'm getting 40 or 50 pips to that next support with a 200 pip stop. I'm taking it based on my probabilities. I understand
that's
the
because
risk,
you're
so
an
I'm
expert
gonna
at it.
maybe lower the position, but I'm gonna still take my probabilities, and I probably go break even at that 40, 50 pips, not expecting more, but I'm not gonna let the market come back against me, knowing that that's where my target was. You can't keep a target now at 200 pips. I'm just gonna make sure I break even at those 40, 50. There's a 90% chance we get there, at least. So I'm not gonna.
With time, people will get to do that. If you're just starting off or you're new at this or a year into it, that's not something that you're obviously going to recognize and be able to do. You just need a lot of time and just come and show up and listen and learn. It's the only way. I mean, I've been doing this now for 5 years, trading gold purely for 3 years or so. And I'm still not 100% what you are doing as well, right? I take my own trades differently as well. And, but I listen to what you say, and with the things that you say, you talk about what you think will happen, what we want to see, and based on that, when those things happen, then it makes it simpler for me to understand that the position I'm looking to take makes sense, right? You get that extra confirmation. So coming here is definitely a win-win for whatever you're looking to do. So whether it's looking at RR or anything else, doesn't matter. What matters if you're winning and you're making money and it's working, and you are winning 9 out of your 10 trades, there's no one in hell anybody can tell you anything, because there's no way that one trade will blow
imagine the confidence. Imagine winning 9 out of every 10 trades.
That's insane.
For months,
but
opening up your terminal and just scrolling through it. Nothing but blues. You're like, man, you know what kind of confidence? There's nothing that builds confidence more than seeing a sea of blue in your terminal. That's confidence.
And the one loss that you have, you know, you're not blowing your entire account on it because you're okay risking those 150, 200,
listen to this. Over
pips.
time, the positions have gotten, the TPs, the Ws have gotten so much bigger. The losses have also gotten way smaller over time. Yeah,
because
I have a possibility of taking 100 pips stop or to the next range, but I'm much better at telling when that could happen. And because of the minor nuances that we pick up on the days that we don't trade, the days we sit and draw on, the days we sit here for hours and you're like, yo, go look at another pair, go look at NQ, look at this, look at DJ, or, you know, whatever it is. And I'm like, how about no? I'm just going to stare at gold and and just watch every little print. All of that matters because I see it print in so many different situations that people will just switch the chart, that I start to understand those areas. And I start to understand every part of the chart, even the ones that I don't trade, because eventually it will be an opportunity and I'll figure out an edge around it. Or I'll see how it now leads to my opportunity. Like, I don't trade this bottom wick usually, but I know that the gap fill will see a reaction. The gap fill 90% of the time sees a reaction. Look what we just happened. And if we get the smaller time frames to align, so we understand the gap fill higher time frame, but we have the smaller time frame coming down here, closing no bottom wick. We have an entry, we have an open with a bottom wick right into that area. We have a small stop we can use here on a break of the lows of that candle where the gap started. Man, you know, these are opportunities I won't recognize if I don't just sit there and watch FOMC play out 100 times. And
you're taking positions that, you're taking positions that are different than before, and a lot of people don't know that because they might not have been here. But we're no longer just taking sells. You've got sell limits a lot of times, or buy limits a lot of the time, so that means that you recognize the probability that the level that you are looking for will get tapped and react off of it. And that reaction, and you're looking for the first reaction, is the one that will give you that money.
Yeah.
And you did it this time. You knew when we were going to fill the wick. You knew it at 42.19 or 42.20 that we were going to see a reaction, and you took the position. Who was that guy? Somebody in the chat saying you got lucky or something like that. Bro,
I didn't say I know it, but I want to say I know it. It sounds so fucking stupid, but I know what you're looking for. I've seen this enough. Like I said, it's knowledge guided by experience. I don't know it. I've experienced it, and I've experienced it enough to know the probabilities.
And that you're willing to risk the money on that trade, knowing that it is an A+ setup or an A setup that will more than likely be a winning trade. That's what it comes down to in the end.
I think.
But you got to study it. You got to have an actual strategy. And if you don't, and you just go, "Oh my God, it's coming down. Shit, should I sell?" And boom, you get caught in a retracement. You blow your account. You're like, and then it comes back down. You're like, "Oh, I knew it was coming down." Yeah, but you had no idea what the hell you were doing. You went in at the wrong time.
Timing matters.
What?
Yeah, timing matters. I think. I think Sia got on there. He said, Rob Sombra said, "I think you win most of the time because you put break even fast, not getting salty if the move play out." He's very good at managing a trade, beginners can lose a trade. So I don't move it fast. I move it based on levels and based on what the candles are doing. And I definitely, so that's not really true. Sometimes it seems fast because it's playing out fast, but in my head, I see where the price points, the levels that the market taps, even if it's within one candle, that I know when the probability of my trade starts to drop. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but the probability starts to drop, and that's where I manage risk. And sometimes when it's not my trade anymore. But I definitely don't get salty if the move play out. I let it rock because I know that there's more range. Look, more range, and even more range, and even more. And no matter where we go, there's going to be a range. It's going to be a move from wherever we go. So it's not like, oh, I missed this. Okay, look at this. What are you talking about? 20 minutes later, hour later, 30 minutes later, you have all of this. Like I said, 20, 30 minutes not going to make a difference. It's not going to be detrimental to your journey on becoming wealthy and getting as far away from poverty as fucking possible. So much nuance, bro. It's unreal. Yeah, and it changes with cycles, and it changes with sessions, and it changes with fundamentals. It's a lot. But I think the fact that you said very good at managing a trade, you saw it earlier, right? In the signal chain, the bundle, like we could have took a 200 pip loss. We closed it at minus 28, minus 30 pips. Right? I'm okay with taking. I'm okay with taking. Right at some point, we had a signal right before the stream started at around 1 p.m., 1:30, and it didn't go our way. It didn't go on we never got the flip. We got that opening. We never got the flip. But there was potential. We would have lost a full loss, right? And I was okay. Like we were talking about, market gives you a chance to get out. We got out at minus 30 pips. And it was minus 28, but then it just from there it drove against us, and it's like I'm not getting out. No, a lot of people are like, no, I'm gonna wait till I'm break even and get out. It's not about that. It's just it came back to a level that made sense. Doesn't owe you your entry. It owes you, for example, if you took a sell, it owes you, and it went against you. It owes you to come back to support before driving further against you. So if the market comes back to support, gives you a chance to get out, you get out at that support. Right, I would have gotten out whether I was 20, 50 pips in profit or in drawdown at that level. I would have completely gotten out of the trade because it was no longer the trade I planned for, right? So I'm very principled when it comes to that.
That's what people don't.
I don't look for specific. Like I'm fine with losing 8 pips, 15 pips, you know, 25, like even 40 pips, like, oh, like it's no longer my trade. I'm fine closing it out versus waiting for it to either hit a full stop or coming back to break even. I'm fine with taking that small because I know 90% of the time I'm going to win and it's going to be a big win. So I'd rather not take the full loss, and I don't care if I close it and then it comes back to my entry or it runs for me because I closed it logically. It gave me no reason to stay. It gave me no reason, right? If it gave me a reason, I'd be like, damn, it gave me a reason and I didn't act on it. But if it gave me no reason, it's like being blind to it. There's nothing there. You don't.
People get married to a position and they just stake to it, come hell or high water, even if it no longer makes sense. So you're fine with your guns knowing the position will more than likely play out because you're seeing everything. But once closures occur and on a bigger time frame, like an hour or a 4 hour, and it doesn't actually close in the way that it should, then either close half of your position partials at a loss to minimize your risk, or you know, try to maybe take a pineapple for the new ones that would be taking another position in the same direction as your original position while in drawdown. So then you could try to minimize that and get a higher BE position or something. But people don't notice that. And the one thing I can tell you, that I can tell anybody, look at your stream, look at YouTube, and look at the number one thing that proves that what you're doing makes fucking sense and it works. And those are the session trades and obviously the stream record. You have 685 wins, 109 losses, and 212 trades. So nearly, is it 1,000 trades or
1,000 trades?
Is it
12 break evens? But we're over 1,000 trades. Trade number 1,000, trade number 1,001, and trade number 1,002 combined for 300 pips.
100 pips each. Yeah. I mean, bro, that's insane. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I remember them. 999 was a break even. Trade number 1,000 was over, I think it was around 50 pips, 40, 50 pips. And then trade number 101 and 1,001, 1,002 were each over, there were hundreds of pips. So yeah.
So get the bundle, gang. Come and join us. Keep showing up. For me personally, I want to thank you. It's been a long time. I missed you, bro. It's been a long time since we spoke, because usually in Asian session, you know, it's fucking late as hell over here, man, in Spain.
He's dipping,
but glad I was glad I was talking. I am going to be dipping. England and Croatia is starting right now, so I'm going to watch that. And
the first good game of the fucking tournament, finally.
Portugal tied 1-1 with Congo. Imagine that, and Ronaldo didn't even
yeah,
score,
but like, who are all these teams playing? Like, you're playing a lot of all the good teams. They're playing fucking Saudi Arabia. They're playing
Algeria,
Iraq, Iran. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. They got good results. They were good games. They're playing Algeria, exactly. But like, if you're talking about like world powers in terms of football, in terms of soccer, like, this is the first game that has really two dominant teams. Like,
this was the semifinal 4 years ago.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Look, there's close that door, please. So think about the who did France play? Who did Germany play? Who did Italy play? Nobody, because they're not in the fucking tournament.
They're not in, bro.
Yeah.
Who did Spain play? Like,
Spain fucking 0-0. I mean, that's insane. But yeah,
embarrassing.
Yeah.
They should have gotten a better result than Germany did. Spain game should have been 10-0.
Yeah,
it should have been 10-0 based on paper.
Yeah.
Just on, if you look at the talent on paper, it should have been 10-0.
Yeah. But that goes to show it should be a really interesting World Cup, because right now you don't know who the actual winner could possibly be.
What I'm saying is, name-wise, you have not had any power team play any other power team. This is the first strong game of the tournament. This is the first where
it's
both
the first
squads
one that has a decent clash to it. Yeah.
And
all the superpowers are
fucking
playing
soccer
right
powerhouses, Croatia and England. So that's what I'm saying. It's the first real game of, like, the first real World Cup game.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm gonna enjoy that. Spend time with my daughter and my girl.
Right now. Thank you for reminding me.
And I'm gonna call it a session. I'm gonna see you guys tonight in the Asian.
Good luck.
Obviously, no talking as usual.
Good luck with
see you, Jay.
Little Wicks.
Have a good night,
man. I know you're
See
gonna.
Hector, you
I
too,
know
man.
the kid's middle name is gonna be Wicks. I know it for sure. Right? It's gonna be like Cristiano Wicks. Bro, Wiximiliano is a good name.
Wix Emiliano, yeah.
Wix Emiliano is a really good
He'll
name.
become a trader at 10. I'll start him early.
Bro, you don't want to you don't want to put Wix in there. Just throw a
I'll-
little 9 somewhere.
Maybe for the middle name. We'll see. We'll see.
Throw a 9. Yeah, throw like middle name 9.
Oh,
Trust me,
man.
it'll-
It was
it'll
really
make
good
him a
talking to you again,
millionaire.
bro.
It'll make him.
Good talking to you guys again, and Zoom gang and everybody. Missed you all, but I am in the chats most of the time. It's just I don't speak when it's during the Asian session because I'm 6 hours ahead of you guys. So it's like 2 a.m. when we start and 4 or 5
You're ahead of
when
your
we
time,
finish.
man.
So-
You're ahead of your time.
Yeah.
Fucking
All right,
busy.
gangs. It's pretty late here. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna watch the game, enjoy it, and then I'll see you guys tonight. Asian session. Subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified of when he's on. And oh, Nate, what's up, Nate? Missed you, fool. Missed you, boy. And then we'll see you guys tonight. So come and join us. Get notified, and it's all free 99, my gang. Thank you, everybody. Take it easy. Peace.
Later. There he goes. Too weird to live, too rare to die. Bro, you shorted? No, we bought. You see buys for 59? We bought. So I mean, we're gonna see that on Sports Center today, gang. Right next to the goals that England and Croatia are gonna score, we're gonna be on Sports Center. So the stimmies are out again today. Small little 100 pipper yesterday. Nice little 60 pipper here today. Yeah, go look for your Wix 9 stimulus checks. They should be hitting your wallets, your bank accounts, your trading accounts shortly. It will rise. That's what she said. And apparently it must have been too much alcohol. Anyway, great trading today. Wow, I feel good. But Dad, you may hate me.
You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Bye, bye, bye.
I gotta go, because otherwise I'm just gonna start talking through the soundboard. Like this, that's all we're gonna do. All right.
The smoke got me. I got bronchitis.
Just
They
give
say
it
money
a
can't buy
light.
happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Boom shakalaka! He's on fire!
I don't throw darts at a board. I bet on sure things.
What you think about the next day? Bear or bull for the market?
What a stupid question that is.
Yeah, we'll be running Asian. Oh, yo, it's fucking 4 o'clock. Asian, 3.5 hours from now. It's 4:10 right now. I gotta save this for 10 minutes from now because I gotta smoke again in 10 minutes. Oh, I got another joint in here. Yeah, it's 4:20 in 10 minutes, gang. Congratulations. Yeah, go smoke. Hey, please, if mods, YouTube mods or YouTube, I mean, not YouTube, Discord mods or Discord, devs, whoever can do it. Can you guys please create a corp voice channel for us? I need a corp voice channel in the Discord so we can communicate. Like if I want to, but just for like select people. Like if I want to talk voice channel, like a private voice channel, the corporate, like make it a corporate or like put corporate voice or corp voice. And it should be you, me, Daniel Holder, and and the devs. Oh, penalty. Oh, stupid. Wow, Modric really fucked up on that one. He didn't see him. He didn't see him. Really, their best fucking player. And he fucking kicked him in the nuts. Like, yeah, a corp voice chant. Yo, do we... Wow, look at this moving up. If we were really able to snipe that... Actually, no, we wouldn't have, because it came back to it. Yeah, you see, if anyone sniped it and didn't go break even because it made the top wick came back down, I mean, you took a big risk there, but if you left it...
It did a big fake out on that 5 minute, right?
This is... I mean, it's doing exactly what I said. I mean, we spoke about this. We're going to see a heavy reaction back up off the fill, off the gap fill. Yeah, like gang, what a fucking valuable stream today. Oh, he missed it. He missed it. You scrub. Damn, you fucking missed it. Fix your fucking banana shaped back.
I think they're gonna repeat it again, man.
Why?
I don't know. The ref is gonna go check.
Tell me the goalie left his line or players ran in?
Yeah, they're checking. Let's see. Oh yeah, the goalie. The goalie and the players, both.
That's wild. Damn, what a valuable session. Hey, the players are in there early. If you're that's crazy. I think Modric is the one ran in early. He's the one that's responsible for the penalty and for the retake. That's wild. Oh, offense by goalkeeper. No, the goalie's responsible. That's crazy. I can't imagine him missing this one again. If he misses right now, they should sub him out.
Yeah.
They should put him back on a fucking plane to...
Back to England.
Not even to England. England shouldn't even take him back. They should drop him off at, like... The French can have him. Fuck this guy. We don't like him either. Yeah, he ain't gonna... He should... Why didn't he just go in the same direction? He was nervous as fuck taking that. He's like, damn, I can't miss twice.
Yeah.
All right, good goal there. But, yeah, what do I think? Up or down? Like I said, I think we pull back here for a whipsaw and we create some kind of range, probably right here. That will set us up for the daily, 6 p.m. I will be trading it with the private gang. So if there's a daily top wick, we'll probably be looking to take advantage of it. You see the daily setting up perfectly here. We can get that top wick opening. So my thing is, I believe in order for that to fall in line with... Where's my annotations? Yo, where's my annotations, bro? Oh, how did they end up here? Yeah. So in order for the daily to make sense for us to trade it, like, I want to see something like this, right? Whatever's happening here right now. You might see some kind of reaction here. I would say this is a better level. If you're able to hold that, you'll probably establish that as a support. Something like this. And this will be your range. That's your whipsaw. Oh, whoops, wrong color. right? Smaller time frame might look something like this. Might get that. It would be amazing if this is how we close. Or even like this, right? Back in range here. This would be a fake out on the smaller time frame. We would close below these areas that run across. If we can get that, this closes the daily. Like we'll be in this range between 42 and 04, but it's a big range, right? But this closes the daily where we can, if we make our way up on the smaller time frame, let's say the first 2 hours, because this will close the daily heavily bearish. I'm sorry. This will close. Let's look at the daily. Here we go. So this kind of price action would close the daily looking like this at resistance. As long as we hold this high, and as long as we tap into this high, we're going to look for sell. We want the daily to look like this. We're at resistance. We've made a weekly top wick here. We're at a weekly resistance. We're at a daily level. We want to come back down. If the daily starts to drive down, if the 4 hour gave you this kind of closure at the end, or an hourly gave you this closure, or a 30-minute gave you this, heavy pump down, right? If we close, for example, we're right here right now. If we're closing on the hourly somewhere in this area, daily looks like this right now. This is how we're closing on a daily. When we open up, look, this is our top wick being made. This area right here. At market open, this is the top wick on a daily being made. So as it's made here at these areas, 43, 42, you start looking at resistance. And if you get some kind of resistance like this, this is our top wick entry. You're going to get it on a smaller time frame, higher time frame. 30 prints like this, 15 prints like this, you get that top wick. Give me 1 second, sweetie. I know you're tapping me on my elbow. Give me 1 second. You get that top wick here. For example, this is a 30 closure or 15. You get that top wick there. That's what you're doing on a smaller time frame. Guess what? The daily just got a top wick at that same level that we're talking about, right? That daily level right there. And it's coming down. So the smaller time frames, the higher time frames need to fall in line there. You can't start off with this big drive down and start coming up on a daily in order for you to have that immediate entry. But we can have, you can have it come down and then come back up. And then what you're going to look for is you're going to look for these sells at resistance, not expecting a drive or a runner. You're going to play at your nearest range. But if you're playing it before the daily has a bottom wick and you come up first, highly likely you're planning for that runner to make that bottom wick. Yeah. Can you have the iPad? No, she recently just got it. When I'm done, let me finish and I'll talk to her and we'll see. I don't think there should be any more iPads today. I think we're gonna, once I'm done here, we're gonna go somewhere. We'll go. Give me a second. I want to eat too. I'm hungry. I don't think you play your iPad too much. Let me finish and let's go to the pool. Oh, it's raining. It's starting to rain. Yeah, never mind. Forget the pool. Yeah, I just would imagine that for the daily, this falls in line with the daily. This falls in line with the weekly. This would fall in line with the 4 hour to close the day here, the smaller time frames. All right, let's get rid of all of this. All right, you understood everything I just drew up, right? Perfect. Taking notes. Now, that's what I'm saying. We want to end up back in this range just to kind of hold this on the daily. But typically that's what happens. You'll get this push up. You'll get this heavy, breakout up. You think you're pushing down, back up, your whipsaw, and usually you'll find price will settle down at somewhere closer to the middle of that whipsaw, but on the lower end. Why on the lower end of the whipsaw? It doesn't really come back up and whipsaw here. It would, but that would close the daily bullish. The price doesn't push up. Oh, whoops, sorry. Price doesn't push up into there and start whipsawing here. I know it's wrong color and doing all this because this would flip. It can do that, right? But this would flip the daily bullish and would not fall in line with what we're doing. It just wouldn't make sense on the weekly. And if it wants to do that, then it's just going to continue up here. It's going to establish this level as a support. Majority of the time, that's what. It'll obviously have another test at it here, see if it drops. But then the monthly comes into, like, you know, weekly and the monthly come into play in that case. Irrelevant. Point is that the market, or gold in itself is very technical. It lines up, time frames line up. It creates lows, retests lows, creates highs, retests highs. It forms a support, it forms a resistance, it creates a range, it fills a range. It just does. You know, just universal truths about gold. Trading gold contracts, futures contracts. And it is what it is. And for it to maintain and stay true to the technicals on the daily, that range will have to be on the lower part of this whipsaw. The smaller time frame range. It could be somewhere here, right? You can just kind of range in here. It could be here, right? But it should not be up here. That makes sense on the daily. That makes, and you only have 30 minutes to close on the day. I think the daily candle's already actually closed when it, by the time 6 p.m. comes around, you won't see any of this. It's already closed like this. You have already seen it close at a lower price point. Sunny down here in MIA. Well, I'm 20 minutes north of you. Or 15 minutes. So I don't know if it'll rise, if it'll go down, but I do know if for it to fall in line with the technicals, the day is going to have to close bearish, which means we're going to have to establish a range at the lower spectrum of this drop. And if that happens, we're going to be looking for sells during Asian Open if we're able to get this top wick into 43, 42. It doesn't mean we're right up there with the top wick. It means it can take 2, 3, 5, 8 hours to get up there. Right? So there could be buys on the way up there. It could be a fairly quick move, and then we're going to look for resistance up here. But you know what to expect. You expect to push up to these areas, and you expect to push down from there. Can you take buys up to there? Can you take sells down from there? That doesn't mean that's what will happen, because the market is very dynamic, just like your risk management should be, right? Market is not static. It moves all the time. And every candle closure is an update, and it's more information printed, and you obviously update your analysis, and sometimes you got to redo the whole analysis. But you know, the same thing, you know, it's very fluid. It's very dynamic. It changes all the time. Like I said, just like your risk management, which can't stay. The entry for your trade with one risk management, you got to have that same idea as you're printing. And if you're printing something else, you got to update your risk management. There are candles that happen during the trade that either increase or decrease the probability of your trade playing out, and you have to adjust your risk accordingly and your risk management accordingly to what's going on with each candle closure, with each print. Right? Sometimes a candle closure drops the probability of your trade working out. So you say to yourself, can I decrease the risk? Can I manage trade early? Is it still worth it? Maybe I don't touch it, but if there's something in another closure, then I start managing it and look to get out of the position. Like, because it's not just hold your stops. Like I said, market is a dynamic thing. It's a live animal. Put millions of traders, throw them into one, And it's alive, it's a living thing. It's very, it's, you know, very, very unpredictable in terms of timing. Yeah, you might have an understanding of what should happen, but said too many factors, too many variables that come into play that change what it can do. And you have to adjust to that, and you have to be able to change what you're gonna do, not just marry your position and leave it. I was gonna ask for a W spam, but I don't think we had the position here on screen. I only took it on the live because I didn't even have a chance to do it on the fun. This shit it's too fast. I didn't even set it up. Great stream though. I'm not just in terms of what I said here, but yeah, Daniel, you got to make like 3 or 4 clips of everything you spoke about. Plus, yeah, it was like 2 or 3 soliloquies, like monologues during today's stream. But the trade itself, but in not the monologues, what the value is for you guys. I think really talking about what it can do, what the market typically looks like the levels, you know, what the candles should form for you to be interested. Right? It's a very good stream today, very valuable stream, and you know, in terms of avoiding certain positions, in terms of getting our position mindset. Right? It's just great stream today. Believe me, if we didn't take a W here today, I would have still said the same thing. Just a great, one of the better streams in terms of value for you, not in terms of entertainment and views for me. Just if you're a trader or if you're trying to improve, trying to get better, like a lot of value. Rewatch the stream because things we speak of, right? There's no gatekeeping. Right, we talk about everything. Like everything I do, like I'll put it out there, almost everything. But there's just like you're gonna have to pay like 5 or 10 bands to get these classes anywhere else. You're gonna have to pay 5 to 10 bands. Yeah. What's Tory Trades, Tory Tanks, whatever. What's she charging for her shit? Like 7 bands? Ask her what the futures market is. Yo, that bitch is charging. Oh, hey, Tori, if you're watching this, when I say bitch, I don't mean it in that sense. I mean it in an endearing term. Like, if you spend some time in New York, everyone's a bitch or everyone's a ninja. And sometimes you get a bitch ninja. Yeah, I don't want no day. I'm just saying no beef, but like, I ain't calling you a bitch. I'm just calling you out. It's an endearing female term. I'm just calling you out on what the futures market is. You gotta know that shit. What the fuck you do? Charge 7 bands for a course. Holy jumping fucking Cybertruck, man. Yeah, my kids are really offensive when they see Cybertruck. Like they're like, "Look, Dad, it's Cybertrash," and it's just that's what they've always called it. And the problem is because like we're out and we'll be sitting somewhere and somebody pulls up, gets out of the car, and they're like, "Look, Dad, Cybertrash." I'm like, "She's not with me. The 6-year-old, she not with me. She just picked her up by the bootstraps right now. I don't know. She was told you that. Everybody called me. Yeah, 6-year-old, she not with me. Yeah, go rewatch the stream. Go in general. Watch the streams. Daniel, I need some clips. I need some clips today. And yeah, let's call it a session. It's 4:30. Market's about to close. The daily looking like the daily should look. We look across, look at these resistances that bring, brought the market down. This could happen. This is a possibility. Right? Look at the area we've tapped into. Right? Pump back up. And typically the market likes to mirror. The drive's up, the drive's down. If we were to fold this thing in half, right, it would probably be a reciprocal. And the market likes to come down the way it comes up. So we'll see if we get the spike. But the thing is, look, first of all, that was the previous contract. Second of all, this is the daily. This is the daily. So we should see a reaction here regardless. Because in a smaller time frame, 4 hour, well, there's levels to get to drive through before we get all the way up there. 4,500. I believe we would have done that here. But after this drop, there's probably another drop due based on that daily closure at resistance. We engulfed like the previous 2 daily candles. All right, gang. Asian session. 3 hours from now. Okay? I need some rest. I need to go eat. I need to go smoke. And we'll be back for Asian session. Please drop a like. Please sub to the channel. Congrats if you got the dubs with us. Please share this stream and sub to the channel. That's the only way I can grow this community. Every time we smash that thumbs up, hey, we fight and we beat the YouTube algo, and it brings more like-minded people in here. And that's what we want. We want like-minded people in here. This way we can have an intellectually honest conversation and enjoy it, right? The adults about it. Like, that's what we want. So let's grow the community. I need your help. I can't do it, but we're almost at 31K subs. But I need you guys to show up, drop some likes, share the stream, sub to the channel, or sub to the channel and share the stream. I'll be here a little prior, 8 p.m. On YouTube, but we'll be trading with the private community. If you want to be a part of all the trades that happen outside of stream, get the bundle. If you want to get access to the private streams, Zooms, chats, giveaways, channels, get the bundle. See you guys at 8 p.m. Eastern in a few hours.
Outside med det! Nå får nå inside! Outside med det!
Zoom gang. See you guys in the clubhouse. Oh, let's do a little flex. We haven't done a flex in a little while. All right, let's get this in. Squeeze the biceps. Let's do it one more time. You got to squeeze the Yeah, you get that blood flowing. It'll start rushing to your head. Sure. Right? You start feeling it. Just get a little pump going. Go do a few push-ups. Like 50 or 100. And, yeah, get a little pump going. Start feeling good about yourself, right? I'm ready for it. You get blood flowing. You go drink 15 Red Bulls. You have a sugary cafe con leche. And you're gonna fucking see sound for tonight's Asian session. Let's fucking go. All right, gang. Mods, thank you so much for helping me run the stream. As always, private community, I'll see you guys 6 p.m. Lock in. Possible sells at market open. Well, possible positions at market open. Absolutely. Congrats to everybody that took the dubs. Please drop a like, sub to the channel before you dip. We are not validating parking tickets. And you ain't got to stay here, but you got to get... you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the fuck up out of here. Chat. Love and wisdom to you all. As for me, my time here is up. And just like that, another Power Hour FOMC session is in the books. Have a good day, everyone. Wait, our music ended. No, we can't do this with no music. Let's get this music back in here.
Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I get some rest, gang. It's been a long day. I'll see you in a few hours. Later.
Boom, shaka.